Welcome to Mainzframe, the show where we provide you insights about the game dev reality of Ubisoft Mainz. My name is Bastian Thun and I'm the communications manager for the studio. And today with me is Katja, programmer on our Rainbow Six Siege team, right?
Yeah, hello.
But so usually we talk a lot about like the specific disciplines or what a programmer, etc. does, but we are not exactly here to talk about programming, not in general, like we have a different topic. But how about we tease our audience a little bit more, because I think this will be a very, very exciting and interesting topic for everyone. And talk, in fact, a little bit about programming or more where you're coming from, your career. So you're a programmer on our team. How did you start becoming a programmer? Was it a deliberate choice from the get-go where you said, yes, one day I want to become a programmer? Or how did it came?
Yeah, actually, at some point I had this, hey, I want to become a programmer. But before, I wanted to become something with electronic. So during school, I noticed that I have a fable for lights, electricity, electronic. So I started an apprenticeship for IT systems electronica.
Ah, okay.
And it was really interesting. And during that time in the school, I also learned programming. And that was the moment I noticed, hey, I'm really talented in programming. Actually,
I'm good at this.
I'm really good at this.
Living.
And actually, I was the best in that class. And it was for me something like a neutral skill I identified. So I decided to push further on that. And then I studied informatic and especially media informatic, because pure informatic was too dry. Media informatic was interesting for me because it includes film, so cinema, and games as well. And both are really interested just because I do it in my in my spare time. And that's how I become actually a programmer.
So fairly early then, when you decided that you become a programmer, you got in contact with the media side of things, and because you were a passionate gamer, you decided, okay, I become a gaming programmer. Because nowadays you have a lot of people from the get-go say, I want to study something with gaming. Oh, I can program, or I can code, or I can do this. It was more like step by step, the career path was built by just moving into this direction, and you realized, okay, gaming it is, and you were, as you said, a passionate gamer in the past.
Yes, exactly.
So, but as I said, it's not exactly about programming, because today's topic is something you actually brought up in the team. You said, hey, there's something I would like to talk about. And when I heard what you want to talk about, I was like, okay, this is actually very, very interesting. Do you want to let the cat out of the bag, Katja?
I actually hope that it's interesting also for others. It's more the privacy part of the life. It's the work-life balance, how to manage kids at home and the business, the work actually.
And I think it's very interesting for various things. I mean, we all know, especially in game production, it is very agile. You have to be very creative. You have to change and adapt all the time. And getting that together with your work life is something I think everyone who worked in game dev thought about or encountered in one form or another. And work-life balance here is something which is very important for us. And it is interesting, I think, from various angles. So first, how do you manage that to be a programmer and having kids? And there's a lot of stuff tied to that, like how do you see that as a parent when it comes to kids and video games, etc. But first things first. We had Giuseppe here in one episode talking about the reality of being a producer. So a lot of stuff changes all the time. You have to be agile, etc. How does that works? Like harmonize, or sometimes challenges you in being a parent of 2 kids, right?
Yeah, it's actually 2 kids. The one is just 1 year old now, and the other has its birthday soonish and became 4. Yeah, and actually, being a programmer means you have to learn all the time, never stop learning, especially in the games industry, because we are at the edge of the technology. So, yeah, everything like AI, graphics, and also
May I
memory
ask,
and so on.
what is your current focus when it comes to programming?
It's a mix of the logic behind, so backend, online programming, and UI as well.
Okay, cool.
Especially for Rainbow, we are a live game,
Yeah.
which means there is always something to improve. And to still want to entertain the audience and improve our game in terms of UI design as well as the technology behind. Yeah.
So you might have, correct me if I'm wrong, but you might be in the situation that even if you, let's say, work from 9 to 5, in the evening, sometimes you have to think about, okay, you have to be up to speed what's currently going on with programming in general in the games industry. You have to think about, okay, how can I further educate and improve myself, etc., while the kids probably ask for all of your attention.
Yeah. I'm actually always have this split like do I want to do more for my job or for the kids? Obviously, the kids winning.
I hope so.
But they're going to the kindergarten, so it's easier for me. I can work actually. And also, my husband supports me, and he's taking care of the children.
Also works
as well.
in games, right?
Yes, he also works for Blue Byte. We somehow managed to do it, but on the bad side, I don't have much time to play anymore.
Okay, maybe when they're getting a little bit older, you will be able to play games in a different way again, or
maybe
spend
with
more
them
time
together.
playing. Exactly. So, but was there a point when you said, okay, it is challenging for you, or to be honest, let's be brutally honest here. Was there a point when you said maybe, as a parent, did you ever thought about moving out of games and doing something else, non-gaming related, where you could say, okay, focus a little bit more on family, or is it no? I absolutely want to stay in gaming while also raising kids, etc. Would you say that is not an issue, or you found ways around problems, etc.?
I actually thought about moving to another industry. Was also because of salary. Just to have maybe the possibility to earn more money with less time spent. But at the end, I also want to enjoy my work, right? And what can be better than programming games? So I'm still here, and I'm still love to program games, and I don't think that I will change it soonish. So yeah.
So the work-life balance part is something which, as I mentioned, is probably a topic matter everyone works in gaming thought about. Would you say, looking back, that works out well for you? Is there something where you would give other parents maybe an advice how to deal with that situation, especially working in games? Is there some interesting workarounds, or can you sometimes even see how your work life helped you to manage and organize maybe even your private parent life?
Actually, after the first kid, when I come back to the company, I noticed that I'm more relaxed. Actually,
Okay.
So also working with the other teammates, I'm not that stressed anymore. Just because I know there's more important stuff for me. Still, the game is important, sure, but when it comes to life. The kids are more important than the job, so I can be more relaxed and don't have that stress level that I had before, and it makes the work-life balance easier, I would say, having the kids. And it also helps that the company has or offers me to have free working hours. Like I can start really early or really late, so I can bring the kids to the kindergarten first and then start working. or my husband is bringing the kids to the kindergarten, and I can catch them after my work. So that is really flexible, and that is also really cool.
So that amount of like flexibility helps, but also
Yes.
I think that's interesting that I noticed I learned this for myself after the years that when you are able to change your focus a little bit to value your private life in a matter that is very, very important to you, say, because especially when you're younger, you have this idea of job comes first, which is kind of okay. But I also had to realize, as more important my private life became, the more focused and relaxed I could do my actual job, and it was helping me instead of like blocking me in my work life.
Yes.
I bet people are very, very interested, if parents are not out there, when it comes to what is your opinion on video games as a parent. I mean, you said you're a passionate gamer, but how is it? You probably thought, okay, when is the right time? What are things? What are the best ways to introduce probably your kids to video games? Are you already started doing that, or is there some thoughts, or maybe even something which changed? Looking at games as a parent when it comes to the educational aspect, or
Yeah, so I would like to start with the question you had in between. Yes, we already started to introduce games to our kids just because they are interested. So our older kid, he started to look into our racks and saw that there are some boxes with interesting covers. And he asked about that. What is this? And we said, yeah, that's actually a game you can play on TV. And he was immediately interested in and wanted to try it. So we picked one that is should be okay for kids, we thought. So it is Mario Kart. And he actually loves to play it. And sometimes he just asks to, can we play Mario Kart again?
He's almost 4, right?
Yeah, he's almost 4. So he can handle the controller already. Sometimes we have to do the movement, and he just pushes for being fast.
So it's not about competitive gaming. It's not mom and dad trying to be in a competition with him.
We tried that, so that one is playing against him, but actually he don't want to lose. He still want to win everything, and but he loves that he can control something. We also tried Zelda, just that he can walk around, and also we have some Lego games.
But that is
really
all fairly advanced and complicated. Like, we're talking about real video games. It's not the kind of like, okay, this is a very, very easy mobile tablet game where they just have on tap, this is a cow, whatever. You are not talking about this kind of like educational software. You're actually playing real video games, which, I mean, obviously need a little bit of like proper I'm looking for a word here, like the hand-eye coordination, etc., reflexes, and that is working well. Was it a deliberate choice that you said, you know what, let's just see how it works if we play Mario Kart?
Yeah, it was more an accident.
Okay. So you were actually playing Mario Kart, and he was like, I want to join.
I played a game, and he thought that, and he was just interested. And the younger one also, when I'm starting to play on my tablet, he also looking into that and wants to touch everything. And he also already knows how to skip advertisements for YouTube. So they are really fast in learning that stuff. It surprises us sometimes, but yeah, we don't want to close that door already for video games. So we are open to introduce them to video games, but we check if it's fine for their age. So no blood or something.
I mean, you're still obviously in control and check. Okay, yes. this works out, or maybe this a little bit later. I mean, there's always a lot of discussions about that. Would you say you will keep, let's say, a very controlled eye or environment for the near future? Maybe how is it with you you maybe thought and talked about what if he sees 6, 7, 8, what are a right amount of hours he would be able to play or should play. How is it when it comes to online gaming? So the whole media educational part. Do you have like a clear idea, or are you both more saying like, okay, we see as it goes, how it goes, and then decide accordingly?
Yeah, actually, the second one, just because we don't know what games are out there when the kid is older, and also same with the devices. If we're using more VR, maybe it's then difficult because we cannot see what he sees.
This is an interesting thought, yeah.
Yeah, but we decided for ourselves that we will always want to play with them together, or offer it at least, so that we know what he's playing, and yeah, maybe also to have this relationship with playing, so that he don't need to play alone something, or
Yeah.
that yeah. So we play with them, and also we know what they are playing. And yeah,
So you want to have, let's say, control is a very harsh word, but at least oversight for a while to know, okay, what's going on. What is your opinion? Because I'm very curious. What is your opinion about online play? When is the right moment to just say, let's say it out loud. When is the right moment for them to play Fortnite?
I don't have a clue, actually.
To just see when they start talking in the kindergarten or elementary school about
I
it.
can imagine that it starts with school. As soon as one of the friends are playing that, they will also want to do it. And yeah, as mentioned, we won't block him to do it. So if it's free, he can play it. If you want to try it, why not? I mean, yeah.
But that sounds also, let's say, when they then reach at some point the age of a teenager, that you are probably aware that there will be a point when you cannot have control or proper oversight anymore, and they will just explore the world out there on their own.
Yeah, we are just trying to be interested in their interests, actually, so that they share with us what they are playing. And as soon as this is fine, we are also fine with it.
And your partner has same idea. He wants to stay in gaming, and because I think it's very interesting in a sense that even the games industry is growing older when it comes to the average age of etc. of people working in games. So we see in the company more and more people having kids, etc. Or even I mean, we have obviously also employees with kids now being in teenager age or older. But you would say that the way we handle games, etc., this is an environment where it's absolutely cool from a work perspective, but also from an educational perspective to grow kids in.
Yeah, you can learn a lot just by playing. I mean, when you're playing a simulator or something, or Civilization or something, then you learn about history, about politics. You can learn so many things just by playing. So yeah, it's actually a cool education method to just play.
When would you start introducing your kids to programming? Because there are a lot of like, Ubisoft has some like kids programming software and stuff like this, right? Yeah. They start very early sometimes these days with that kind of like introduction to programming and coding. Kids coding, I think it's called, or something.
Yeah. That's there are pretty cool tools out there. Just that they don't need to program actually, but can just move some blocks and suddenly something is working. But yeah, I don't want to introduce it from my point of view to him. It's just I'm waiting for him to be interested in that stuff, and then I can
Mom,
teach
what are
him.
you doing? That's interesting. Oh, you know, I show you. I getcha.
Yeah.
For other parents or soon-to-be parents out there who work in games, do you have any advice, tips, or this is just like an important takeaway you learned, which you would like to share?
Yeah, maybe don't wait too long. I noticed that career was really important for me. So I'm already mid-30 and carrying around, I don't know, 10 to 12 kilo kid all the time is not very healthy for your back.
Okay.
So, and if I would have the kids already mid-20, I would have been maybe probably fitter to do all that.
But you would say even if you want to focus on career, the idea of career plus being a parent, that does not contradict, right? That can work together.
Yeah, right. So I always did 1 year of parental leave, and afterwards I was back, and I obviously needed some time to get full back with all the knowledge and skills and so on. And yeah, but the catch up doesn't took longer than 2 months or something, and I was back, and so I didn't miss that much. And as I already mentioned, you have to learn all the time. So I also did some research during my parental leave, like reading some books or the internet or just playing and seeing what's out there. And so there is no need to, I don't know, wait for another release or something before probably thinking about getting pregnant or something.
Okay, cool. So thanks for the very, very interesting insights. I'm not a parent, so I never thought about these kind of like aspects, but I think that was very, very good and very positive outlook of being a parent while being a game developer. Also, thank you all people out there to being with us today. As always, if you have specific questions about being a parent in games, kids education, or programming, feel free to ask in the comments. Thanks for being here, Katja. And I would say we see us next time in Mainzframe.